Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar, Powerful End-to-End Accounts Payable Automation for Multi-Location Companies. And this is brought to you by DeRosa Mangold Consulting. I'm Lauren, and I am the partner marketer here at Yooz. Before we begin, I'd like to go over a few things. So this webinar is designed to be interactive. So if you have any questions at any point in the slideshow, please include them in the Q&A chat box. And then at the end of the webinar, you will be directed to fill out a short survey on your thoughts about the webinar. So please take a moment to fill it out, as we greatly appreciate your feedback and we're always looking to improve. So now I'd like to take a moment to introduce Heather from DeRosa to say a few words.
Hey, welcome everyone, and thank you for attending. I'm Heather Dudley, the Marketing Director for DeRosa Mangold Consulting. Our company was founded back in 1999, and we're based out of Waco, Texas. We're a value-added reseller of Sage Intacct, Sage 100, and Sage 50. And it's really our passion to help companies like yours manage their financial reporting systems. I hope that you find the information that we have for you today to be really beneficial and useful. We're really thrilled that we partnered with Yooz for this webinar, so thank y'all so much. And I know that our two companies are committed to serving our customers. This is really all done in an effort to help, elevate you, the customer, and improve your workload via automation tools that, kind of make your life a little easier. We've chosen to team up with Yooz because of their ability to excel with their integrations with Sage Intacct and fully utilize the software's capabilities. And most importantly, they partner with us to serve you, the user of the system. They're committed, just like we are, to making you successful. So once again, from all of the team at DeRosa Mangold, thank you for attending.
Well, I will come off mute. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I'm a sales account representative here at Yooz AP. Been here for quite a while and love working with DeRosa Mangold as well. So what I'm going to do is I will let's kind of dive on in and take a little background look and talk about a quick little agenda for today. So a few things I'm gonna go over in today's presentation is going to be, the chaos of month end for our multi-location organizations, how to create a centralized and effective AP process for organization with multiple locations, and complete cloud-based P2P automation with the Yooz, and a quick product demo that's going to highlight our Yooz product from there. So if also I left Q&A for the end. If you have questions in the middle or throughout, please let me know. We'll love to speak with you about it. So, but no further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in. And so, quick highlight on Yooz. We're built off our sister company, ITESoft. That's ITESoft. They're a world-class on-prem provider. They've been around for 35 plus years. In that 35 plus years, they developed a smart data extraction, and they found out that if you put that information in the cloud, it drops the price point. So we were born in 2010. Since then, we've grown quite a bit, actually. We have two offices, one in Europe, one here in Dallas, Texas. We process millions of documents a year. We integrate with well over 250 ERPs, kind of back to what Heather was mentioning a minute ago about us and interacting with Sage Intacct and QuickBooks and a few other ones that we have some key API connections with, which is great. Here's some awards we've won. We're pretty proud of those. So as you see, kind of a wide variety: G2, Top Accounting, Top Cloud, and some other few ones as well. So who uses Yooz, right? We have a wide variety of clients. As you can see, anywhere from Go Auto to Premier Trucking to Goody Goody as well. Just a wide variety of people that who use Yooz. Little tongue twister there, as we can see. So also want to point out that we do have, and they're not on the screen, 3 of the 4 of the biggest audit firms globally. And so those are, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank for the first time ever. So my apologies, but we do have 3 of the 5 top audit firms in the country today. So picture this: you work for an organization with locations throughout the state, and when it comes for your month end and chaos, because you have decentralized invoice approval process, your account payables, you're receiving boxes and packages of invoices and receipts at your head office, right? So oftentimes overnight and in even last minute, right, we're kind of going through those and sorting through those. You spend hours going through boxes and documents, which I even do that today in my own house, and it stinks, and manually entering those invoices and filing them away in those lovely cabinets that we all love so much. And then you realize one is missing. And so you try to go back to the wall of the filing cabinets. And, that's a tedious process of going document by document until you rule out or find the missing invoice. That doesn't even get us started on the invoice approval process, right? So, it's just especially hunting down those various approvers, finding things, where's that folder at, calling people, kind of like I said before, chaos of a decentralized process that gets repeated every month, every quarter, and then year end. And I know that sounds familiar to a lot of people out there as well. So if that storyline doesn't resonate with you, what about multi-entity organizations with either sister companies or subsidiaries under one umbrella, right? So for each month in or closing, taking all the documents and invoices accumulated for that month that now need to be allocated and sorted according to the correct organizations, correct budget or department, maybe putting those in those lovely folders and send those out to those department managers, which is never fun. It's a similar issue that the first story of multi-locations for the organization have to deal with for shipping the documents into the headquarters and manually dealing with them, and then lots of hours in stacking papers for your AP team from there. So this one's great. So how do you clean up the chaos? And so now imagine taking all those documents and invoices that need to be sorted by budget, project, organization, whichever way we can think of, right? And instead of having your AP staff going through one by one, you can now automate the process. Let's put all this, I love this slide, it's really cool. So now, not only will you be able to stop wasting your time sorting through the invoices, but you'll be able to see a number of benefits to utilizing technology like AI and machine learning to automate your entire purchase to payment processing, creating an effective and streamlined workflow that is also scalable and easy to repeat for each month end and closing going forward, which is awesome. Sounds too good to be true? Well, guess what? It's not, people. So quick little thing. So how to create a centralized and effective AP process for multi-organizations. So with an advanced and complete AP automation, you can take these common pain points that both multi-location and multi-entity organizations have to deal with or overcome, right? So both examples I just gave highlight some of the month-end pains of these organizations, right? So we look at the very top on our month-end pains. Let's go through it. So centralize and streamlining processes for efficient and cost reduction. So and then imagine streamlining your invoices and payment approval process that will increase your AP department's efficiency. And what it'll do is when it increases that, it's going to overall reduce the costs that's incurred and associated with the accounts payable for your business, okay? So now let's go down to with the manual AP process, there's a lack of visibility, right, into your cash flows, your budget, your organizations, allocations, let alone any up-to-date real-time insights. And so now, no real-time view. So now we'll see traceability of invoices and payments, visibility into cash flow and budget allocations in real time, which is great because now with the most powerful and smartest AI-backed technologies like smart data extractions, machine learning, powered by an extensive set of big data, not only give yourself visibility into the cash flow and budgeting for your business for working, but you also are able to see the most up-to-date in real time looking at all those figures. So no more waiting for the end of the month, which nobody loves the end of the month, doing at the beginning of the month, or having to consult multiple documents. It's all at your fingertips, right? So final pain point that I was just speaking with, the complicated, rigorous, and lengthy process. And as we see, we push that through to dynamic workflows built to individual businesses' needs and unique to each entity, right? So transforming your organization from, a simple workflow from a purchase order to a payment with one single solution will open you up to a greater level of flexibility and speed for your process. So now with that being said, only the best-in-class AP automation solution are going to give you the full freedom to create dynamic workflows that fit your organization's needs and not the other way around. So no more rigor and templates you have to follow, but true flexibility and customization is what you should be looking for when you're choosing an AP solution from there. Love to answer some questions. If you have any questions, please send those my way. So I do want to point out something. So Yooz, no one does what we do. These 4 pillars here makes us very unique. Starting at the top left, the brain, that is that smart data extraction. So imagine OCR on steroids, I like to call it, reading the document in 20 to 30 seconds each page, which is really cool. System is very powerful. So we give you all the bells and whistles, but it's also very configurable in it being powerful, right? So if you think about, if you have simple workflows anywhere from just needs to go from AP to your ERP, that's not a problem. It needs to go to AP to maybe multiple different people, also not a problem. We can break it down in multiple different ways. But the reason why we won the awards is because it's easy to use. It's built for the user, which is awesome. And then what you'll see here in just a little bit, but then also you'll see that automation being in the cloud. We never delete your documents, and we house them for technically way past 7 years. We house them forever. We've never deleted anything while I've been here at Yooz from there. So Yooz the bundle solution. We can do everything from scan all the way down to purchase request, purchase order, matching, all the way down to payments, which I'll show here in just a little bit as well. So my last slide, here's going to be our front end processing of AP. So in a second, I'll show you how to create that purchase order inside of Yooz, where we can create that purchase order, where it can go to those different people for approval. We can have it automatically sent out from there, or we can have it back to AP. AP can then send it out. But once it's sent out, it's going to either be received, but if it's not being received, it's going to sit in the back of the system. And then from there, we're going to wait on our invoice to come in. So capture piece. So now imagine if you have an AP email box. That AP email box, we can put what's called an auto forward rule in the back. So now we can have it automatically send in the invoices into Yooz. Also from there, if you have the paper copies, we can scan those. You can scan those straight into the Yooz platform. You can take a picture on your cell phone or tablet. You can drag and drop. So if you have contracts, bank statements, anything like that, drag and drop. We also do EDI feeds. There's a bunch of different formats it can come. So I want to point this out over here on review. So when it comes in, we have a few things. We take any type of file. So it can be a PDF, it can be a Word document, an Excel document, TIFF, JPEG, you name it. We'll take that document, read it in 20, 30 seconds. We don't have templates. We don't outsource, which is also an amazing thing. And so if you have any POs, they're sitting in the back of the system, either created in Yooz or coming over from your purchase order or accounting system. We'll have that sit in the back. And then now when that invoice comes in, there's multiple different ways, it's going to match that PO. But if you don't use POs, not a problem. We'll have the invoice come in and it's going to memorize your last coding from there. Once it memorizes coding, all you're doing is just reviewing it. And then from there, depending on how your organization is set up, we'll have multiple levels of approval, maybe 1, maybe 27, really up to you and how you want to set it up. Also, great thing about Yooz. So once it is approved, we'll send that invoice over to your ERP. So like Sage Intacct, for example, we'll send it over to Sage Intacct instantaneously. Say you want to use this for payments, perfect. Now it's in the back, being ready to get paid. Once it's paid, which I'll show him in a second, we'll update that payment remittance data inside of Sage Intacct. If you don't want to use this for payments, that's also not a problem. We'll just export everything over to your accounting system from there. I do want to point out one thing. Right above approval is workflow. Right above workflow is no touch. So what that means is now when those invoices come in, we can start automating the process a lot easier, right? So you can now, maybe we skip review, we go straight to approval, or we go, maybe it meets the same criteria each month, and it's always the same bill, never gets coded differently. Maybe we skip it and send it straight to our ERP from there. So a lot we can do with our no touch process. So now let's jump to our demo. Let me bring on Yooz way over here. There we go. So now we'll see this is Yooz. So a few things about us. We're built off the most secure network on the planet, Microsoft Azure. Also, we can see here at the top that it's in a web browser. And so that is HTTPS. It's also secure too as well, and it's responsive. So you can have this on your phone or tablet, which is awesome as well. And we have a little news feed to the right, which is always updating us on what's going on inside of Yooz. So let's log on into Yooz. Let's take a quick look. So I am demo 20. For the CPAs out there, if you have multiple different organizations, we can have this pop up. So we can have them all separate under multiple different platforms, or we can have all your different entities or organizations under one from there. So Yooz is very configurable, which is nice for the business. So here at the top, we have our workspaces. And so we'll see our capture, my tasks, my exports, statistics. This right here, most powerful search tool in the market today, Google-like search function. So those filing cabinets I was showing a minute ago, imagine coming in here, typing in a single word, and pulling all those invoices that match that single word. It's pretty cool. So we have our settings, our user profile, a lot of great content in here. So we have our help center, our guided tours, our webinars, also in our profile. Imagine you're on vacation, or maybe maybe maternity leave, or whatever the case could be, and you need things to continuously move in the organization. Not a problem. We have a very powerful delegation tool where we can have it sent out from your queue to someone else's queue while you're gone. Once you return, then we can have it everything come back to you from there. I brought in some invoices, as we can see down here in our to-do. Some stayed here at the top. I brought in 16 invoices, emailed them all over to myself. And then down here at the bottom, some went to different people. So we'll see. But now visibility in the organization is there, right? So now we can see Mr. Jones has some, Francois, Angela, great visibility in the organization where things are located. So what I didn't do is I haven't created a purchase order. So I'm going to come up here where it says purchase request. And I'm going to select, I have a few different organizations I'm associated with. So I'm going to select on USA Yooz demo, hit continue. Then from there, we have our name, organization unit, our type. Right here, our vendor list is going to come sit in Yooz as well. So super simple. Say let's order something from our friend Granger. There we go. Let's click on Granger. Let's tab on down our billing address. We want our Dallas location. Dallas location. Right here, if you receive your goods, we can have this toggled on. If you don't, we'll have it off. Also right here to automatically be sent out, not a problem. We can have that automatically sent out by just toggling it over as well. Great thing about Yooz is your catalogs can be in the back. So anytime I want to order something from Grainger, what do we like to order? Let's do V belts. So I hit V, boom, automatically pops up V belts. Let's hit enter. It's going to fill in our lines for us. We'll switch our order quantity over. Let's do 6. Hit enter. Look, it automatically does the math for us right here. Fills in our expense accounts. Everything's good to go. Let's go ahead and hit submit. In my workflow, we have this automatically going to my manager, Mr. Barack Jones. So we can type in a comment. Please approve ASAP. And so from there, since I'm an admin, I can jump into impersonate someone else's demo. I do want to point something out because I've right here, we'll see purchase request. Now we have visibility of where it's at. So now we can see our Grainger is with our manager for approval. So I'm an admin, like I just mentioned. So let's jump in and I can impersonate people. So let's impersonate Mr. Barack Jones. So as we can see, Mr. Barack Jones has a few things to approve, but right here we see purchase request. Let's click on that. We'll see Grainger. Let's click on the Grainger right here to be approved. So we'll see all of our purchase requests. We'll see our purchase line items. I only ordered 1 line. Everything here is good. We see our comment. Everything inside of Yooz has an audit trail with our name, date, and timestamp. So we can either preview the future purchase order, we can send it back, or we can just hit approve. So gives you flexibility if we need to send or reject anything back to that person that is approving it. So let's close this out. Let's jump back on over here. And so our purchase request will populate in just a second from there. Let me hit refresh one more time. It should be here. There it is. So let's click on that. Now we'll see that we have our Grainger right here. What our document, not what our purchase order number. Let's click on it. And so right here, now we've created the purchase order. We'll see right here that our your logo will be right here in the top, purchase order number. And then as we scroll down, we'll see everything here with our V belts and our pricing as well. So if everything here looks good, we can always just email the vendor inside of Yooz. Here's your email account. Here is their email address as well. Subject, message, attachment, send, and then we're out. And then let's hit confirm PO is sending. Now it is out. And now let's bring in, I don't have a Grainger invoice in here. So I'm just going to I have one saved to my desktop. Let's just drag and drop that right on in the system real quick. Select the file. It's here right here. I'll actually show you real quick. Here's Grainger saved in window photo viewer. As you can see, I haven't done anything to it. And so from there, we'll just close this out. Drag and drop, which is great for working on multiple screens. And we'll just go ahead and import, bring this Grainger invoice on in. And then down at the bottom, a little corny, it's using. So what that means is it's reading the page in about 20 to 30 seconds, following the workflow that we have set up in the back of our system. From there. So while it's doing its thing, I do want to point out, let's see, we have a little time. I'm gonna jump into settings really quick. Here at the top, we have our rich organization units. Down at the bottom, we have workflows and processes. So when I mentioned those different approval processes, we can do a bunch of different process types. So if you're using POs, great, they can have their own workflow. Payables is the same thing, other documents. So if we click on payables, My last slide, so we can already see that our process is already, our payable is already changed. And so we have, this is our last slide where it has review, approve, and then our payment workflow as well. So in our review phase, this is where we have everything coming to our RAP person. Right above that is our no touch. So like I mentioned, maybe you can automate the process a little bit. So for my demo, I've set up a no touch process where things come into the system and the vendor, one of these 10 vendors has been read, an amount less than $550, and then complete. Everything has been filled in. So we are good to go. We are good to go. So that means everything has been filled in. It's automatically going over to our approval phase from there. So we come over to approval. We have everything in our approval phase, which we have multi-approvals. Here, we can also do single words. As you can see, there's a lot we can do. You can have as many approvers as you like inside of Yooz. And then for the payment side, once again, we can have as many steps and routes for that payment as you need from there. Let's jump up here to our task. And let's come in here. And we'll see, I brought that Granger in. It automatically flipped it over to a PO. So let's click on that really quick. And so I do want to point something out about Yooz. That smart data extraction I mentioned, when I put my mouse over it, reads the words, right? Invoice date, invoice number, puts it to our header fields over here to the left. This is all configurable for you. So when I click on document date, boom, to the far right of the page and invoice date, it does highlight it. And then we have document number right below it on our invoice number, along with our due date. So we see it read it, right? I use my tab key, tab on through, amount, and then down at the bottom, so I picked up our purchase order number, which we can see right here. It read it, and then it pulled in our lines that we created down here, and then boom, there's our account. Everything's been filled in for you, no discrepancies, and then even our cost centers, our dimensions have been filled in as well. So if everything here looks good, which it does, we can just come up here to our submit, hit submit, and then it's going to go over to our lovely manager, Mr. Jones, for approval. Once again, we can type in a comment, but for this, let's just hit confirm. This is pretty simple. From there, boom, it is out, and then it's on to the next one from there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one since I started at the bottom. And then we'll see that General Petroleum is here. And last time General Petroleum came in, we put it to these 3 different accounts here at the bottom. Okay, so it memorized that. So we have a discrepancy right here of 2448. So we can come to this expense 1. And actually, there's a really cool feature that we have called a click and recon. So we can actually click on this 2376, automatically populates in our box. When I hit enter, automatically pulls us down to expense 2 down here. And so that's wrong. Our $72 is our surcharge of $12 from there. So we can actually click on the $12, hit enter again. It's going to pull in our 60 right here to our bottom expense. The great thing about Yooz is this is a calculator. So if you want to divide between all accounts, do multiplication on one line, multiple, there's a lot we can do inside of actually Yooz itself. But if we want to, let's say we want to divide this between all accounts, that the total amount between these last 3 accounts, hit continue, yes. Within seconds, it divided between those 3 different accounts, our same division, our same product, but different projects. So from there, we can just come up here. From there, we can just come up here and hit submit. And we're going to have this go off to, once again, our manager, Mr. Barack Jones. From there. So let's give it one more second. There we go, Mr. Barack Jones. Sorry about that. I was stuck in a limbo. So we'll hit confirm, push that on out. So it's like flipping a page since we started at the top. So our next one, flag services, comes in. And so from there, we'll see at the very top. I'm going to show you something because I have a client that loves this. We can actually change our display. So if we want to see, we want to change it to more of a, we can see more of the page. If you're working with a bigger screen than what I'm working on right now, definitely not a problem. So we'll come to our document number. We see it reads everything. Everything here is good. If we need to make a change on one of our accounts, that's not a problem. They're right here in the back of the system. Same with dimensions as well, or your call centers. From there, if everything is good, we can just come up here and hit submit. This one's going to Ms. Hillary Johnson. So it knows because in our workflow, everything past $4,000 goes to multi-approvers. Definitely not a problem. Let's hit confirm. Boom, it's out. And then it's on to the next one. So I don't know if anybody on this call has ever dealt with duplicates, paying people twice. With Yooz, we have duplicate detection. So here at the top, it says a duplicate document, if I can ever say the word, has been found with the same values. Okay, so in Yooz, you can actually view the document. So I'm only working with one screen. Let's pull this on down. And so from here, we have invoice. We can actually cross-reference our invoice number, our invoice date, our due date, our total amount. We can see that this is a duplicate. So from there, from here, let's close this out. Inside of Yooz, we can do a few things. So we can email the vendor, print this off, take someone's desk, which is, let's scratch that out. From here at the top, we can actually forward this to someone too as well. And then we can also add any comments, right? So if we hit the comment button, inside the comments, instead of adding a comment, what if you want to talk to another coworker? So I want to talk to Mr. John Smith. Type in John, we'll at him, John Smith. What's going on with this invoice? We'll hit enter. Now from there, we'll see that John Smith will now get a notification. They can jump in, take a look, but and make some comments back. But if we don't need them to make any comments, we can come up here to the top. And if we have authorization to delete items, we can just select delete, select our reason, type in a comment, select yes, boom, it's out, and then it's on to the next one from there. Let's close this one out. Our system reads French. I do not, but if you read French or another language, our system reads French and Spanish, so which is pretty cool. So here at the top, we see that some documents stayed in our to-do, and then some went down to the in progress. So now we see Hillary has something, Mr. Barack Jones, Francois from there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm impersonate. I'm gonna jump into Hillary's queue really quick. Take a quick look because she has one lonely invoice. So we'll see flag services right here. We'll go ahead and jump in. So for your approvers, there's a few things we can do. We can give them full access to make changes, or we can gray them out here at the top as well down at the bottom. But if you want them to make changes at the top or the bottom, we can definitely give them access for that. So from here, we're just going to come up to this approval, and now we can hit approve. And then that has been sent out for approval. And the great thing is on your side, when I come back, we can see it down here as approval too. So now you can see the visibility if it goes to multiple approvers. So let's jump into Mr. Jones. He's got quite a few things, and then we'll make a payment. Mr. Barack Jones, hit OK. So we'll see that Mr. Barack Jones has a few items. We'll see this approver too. So let's take a look at that one. And so from there, we'll see flag services, and then we'll see our approval from there. Great thing is everything has an audit history to it as well. So you can see your timeline, when it came in, who touched it last, which is amazing inside of Yooz. We can also give auditors a login as well. We can also see here at the top who was approved by. Since I impersonated different people, my name shows up. So from here, for some reason, what if we didn't want to? We want to reject this, send this back. We can just hit send back. And now if you have multiple stages of approvers, not a problem. You can select who it goes back to. And then you can always write them a comment. Hit confirm, boom, it's out, and then it's on to the next one from there. I do want to point something out that's an awesome feature as well. Some people love this, some people do not, but we do have what's called batch approvals. So right here where it says complete 17, we can select, we'll select that, and then we'll jump in and we'll see we have a few different invoices or documents to approve. We can select 1, 2, or maybe all 8 right here. But let's take a look at this one. It's 2448. General Petroleum might be a little high, so let's select it. This orange circle over there, and then now it pulls up that invoice. When we zoom in, we'll see General Petroleum, see our invoice, we can see our header fields. Everything here looks good. We can look at our invoice lines where we can see our accounts, our amounts. Okay, it was split correctly. Everything here looks good. The rest of these, I know these, so we're good to go. So let's hit process automatically and let's hit submit. And now within seconds, this has been processed. So it's either going to go straight to your ERP, it's going to go over to another approval, get ready for payment, etc. from there. So let's close this out. And we'll see that some things are skipping to Miss Angela for payment down here at the bottom. So let's jump into Angela's environment and let's take a look. So we'll see that Angela has a few things to pay. So for my demo, it's single payment. But what a lot of our clients do is do batch payment approvals. So we would turn that feature on, so then you can make those payments on Friday or once a month, once every other week, however you make your payments now, we can set that up, or maybe daily as well. Not a problem, do the batch payments. So I'm gonna click on the CSI material invoice really quick. So we'll click down here at the bottom and we'll see that we have an amount to pay. We can always partially pay. It's going through the use pay. And then right here, if you have one bank account, not a problem. If you have multiple, that's definitely not a problem as well. We'll select that. And then if everything else is ready to go, we can go ahead and hit pay. Send it on out. And now it is out and being paid from there. Also, the great thing about Yooz is here at the top under My Payments. If we click on it, here in a second, we'll see that payment pop up. There it is, down here in Payment in Progress. So now we can see it. Obviously, it's an e-check, but if it was ACH, virtual credit card, or check, it would be down here at the bottom as well, which is great visibility on all the payments that are outstanding. So let's close this out, get out of Angela. And if we come back to our environment, right here, we'll see that rejected. where I sent that back, which is great because now you can see what has been rejected, what's going on. You can click into it and take a look. I do want to show a few things. Here at the top, we have our statistics page where we have, this is one of our clients let us use their information. They're at 95% extraction rate, but this is great for great visibility, right? So you can see payment approvals, PO processes, POs that's sending out, right? Maybe just regular invoices. Where are you at last year? 166 documents. Where you're kind of projecting for this year, right? You've been at 400. So we can see the growth and the dollar amount is really taking off this year, which is great visibility. You can see your global processes, your late, what's late, your top vendors. I have a client that uses this all the time because now she can cross-reference, hey, why am I paying this vendor A and vendor B? Why am I paying vendor A more than vendor B? And I order the same items from them. Also, we can see just your top organizations and everything else. But right here, we'll see the number of documents that have been processed. It is grayed out, but you can see our users, who's processing the most. For privacy policies, we block this off. Now, that Google Light search function that I mentioned earlier, let's jump in there and let's take a quick look. And so, if you come in here, let's think about any word. We will use drum. Type in drum, hit enter. It's going to pull everything associated with drum. We'll see in the task, it's ready for payment. Well, let's look at it really quick. So out of all the words on this page, it pulled this word right here, which is awesome. Really cool feature. Instead of going to the filing cabinets and trying to search for that particular invoice, everything's stored right here in Yooz. You can also do multi-criteria searches. So if you're thinking about maybe a vendor. Okay, so maybe these, we're gonna look for these 4 vendors, 5, 6, 7, these 7 or 6, we'll do that, and then we'll do a total amount. And let's look for anything greater than, let's do $100 from there. And then we can drill down on account lines, but for right now, let's just look at these. It pulls everything that's in our system, right, that meets that criteria. The great thing about this, say you love this report, you can save it here at the top, name the report, share the report with other users, other groups, so you can put people in groups or maybe roles in the organization. And you can always download. So your invoices stay your invoices. At Yooz, we don't hold your invoices hostage at all, which is nice. And then once we save it, it's right here on the front page. You can just click it, and then it's going to populate everything for that saved report. Also in Yooz, when you come on with Yooz, we have a dedicated project manager, implementation manager for you. And then once you're done with implementation, everything goes over to, you have a dedicated customer support representative from there. Also, you always have your account representative, myself, and then you also have a chat here at the bottom where you can talk to someone live at Yooz and get your answers really quickly in real time. From there, we kind of move from the messy papers over to a clean desk, which is always lovely. And then we'll see that from there, we're kind of automating a lot more of our processes from there. So I want to say keep in touch. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, would love to answer those if they're in the chat at all. From there.
Yes, so real quick, there is a question. So how are payments sent to vendors, and does Yooz integrate with a financial institution for payment uploads?
So how's payments sent to vendors? It's sent directly from your bank. And so what we do is we'll connect your bank, and then Yooz will automatically grab. So once the payment is issued from on your end. Yooz gets it, sends it over to kind of like a holding account for a quick second. But then from there, it's then sent over to the person. If it's ACH, they'll get paid directly to the bank via ACH. If it's a check, then we'll get the check and mail that out. And then once they deposit that check, then it will automatically come back to, it will updating your bank statements from there. What was the other question part of that, Lauren?
I think you covered it. It was just, let me find it real quick. How are payments sent to vendors? And then it was, does Yooz integrate with a financial institution for payment uploads?
Yes. We can do uploads and payments to financial institutions.
All right.
And the different payments are, I already said ACH, check, and virtual credit card.
Perfect. And it looks like we have one final question. If we have 5 locations, realistically, how long would it take to get up and running?
Ooh, great question. So our typical implementation is about 4 to 6 weeks, depending, and that's not adding POs or payments. If you're doing payments, then I would add a few more weeks to that. So 6 to 8 weeks. We also have month end too as well in there, but I would say 6 to 8 weeks. I've seen them go a little bit longer, and I've seen them go in a few weeks. So really just depends on your organization and how fast you'll be up and running.
All right, it looks like we do not have any other questions. But if anyone else from the webinar does have any more questions, you can email Jonathon or our contact@us.getyooz.com email. But yeah, that will conclude our webinar. Thank you everyone for joining.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.